A nation's coast can be characterized by largest population densities, significant economic activity, and occasionally locations of famous beauty can all be found where a country's boundaries meet the sea. The nations with the longest coastlines in the globe are best suited to utilize this natural resource because more than 70% of the Earth is covered by water. Which nation has the world's longest coastline? We'll examine in this video as we look at some seriously long coasts. Continue watching to find out about countries with thousands of islands, various beach paradises, and to find out who wins. Also, if you're new to our channel, then subscribe to us now. Number 10. New Zealand, 15 kilometers. New Zealand is an island nation located in the southwest of the enormous Pacific Ocean. You're probably not the only one who is startled that this nation has one of the world's largest coastlines. It is simple to overlook New Zealand because of its size in comparison to Australia, its enormous neighbor. Even an entire subreddit has been devoted to maps that omit the nation's existence. The flora and fauna of New Zealand, both of which are largely concentrated along its 15 kilometers of coastline, are possibly its most well-known features. The country is made up of over 600 islands in total, including 3 major ones. These islands are responsible for New Zealand's extensive Pacific and Tasman Sea coastlines. The Lord of the Rings movies were made here. The national rugby team is well known for being scary, and New Zealand wine is shipped all over the world, among other things. Number 9. USA, 19 kilometers. One of the biggest nations in the globe is the United States. Large forests, deserts, mountain ranges, wetlands, and many more geographical elements can be found within its 50 states. In addition, a number of minor territories exist outside of the American continent. The fact that the United States has coastlines on the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Oceans is a fascinating component of the country. Additionally, it faces the Gulf of Mexico. The variety of the nation's waters substantially increases the variety of its climate and natural resources. There are roughly 19 kilometers of shoreline in this big country, but which state has the most of it? There is no rivalry. Alaska is the correct response. Alaska's coastline stretches for 10 kilometers along both the Pacific and Arctic Oceans. Despite not having a land connection to the rest of the contiguous United States, Alaska is a significant hub for fishing, tourism, and oil extraction. Some of the most famous beaches in the United States can be found in the states of California, Florida, and Hawaii, which are stark contrast to the icy coast of Alaska. You can find beautiful sandy beaches, mild oceans, and very well-liked vacation places here. It's important to note that the U.S. coastline is 153 kilometers long, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, NOAA. As a result, it would have the second longest coastline in the entire planet. The CIA World Factbook and the U.S. Census Bureau provided the data for our rating. Number 8. Australia, 25 kilometers. This island nation of Oceania has a 25 kilometers long coastline. The Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Southern Ocean all border Australia's shore, much like they do in the United States. The Australian population is largely concentrated around the nation's coastline. This is most likely due to the breathtaking beauty of Australian beaches, the abundance of business prospects along the nation's coast, and the harsh conditions of the country's interior. The coastlines of Australia are among the most visited places on Earth. The Great Barrier Reef, the biggest coral reef in the world and one of Australia's 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, is situated off the east coast of that country. Visitors from all over the world travel there to surf or dive at one of Australia's numerous well-known beaches. Number 7. Japan, 29 kilometers. It's unlikely that anyone can name all of the islands that make up Japan. However, geography enthusiasts might be able to name a handful of them. This is due to the astounding 6 islands that make up the Japanese archipelago. It should come as no surprise that Japan has a coastline of 29 kilometers given the vast number of islands it claims. Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Shikoku, and Okinawa are the 5 biggest islands in this collection. Additionally, they are the most significant islands for the national economy. Many of Japan's greatest towns were constructed along the country's coastline, in part due to the country's high share of coastline. Additionally, it is home to a number of significant international ports, including the largest port in the Pacific Ocean, the Port of Tokyo. Because of its historical geographic isolation from other civilizations, Japanese culture is one of the easiest to recognize around the world. Fishing, aquaculture, and trading continue to be important occupations that provide a living for those who live along the Japanese shore. Number 6. Philippines, 36 kilometers. Hold on if the amount of islands that make up Japan surprise you. The Philippines, a nation of 7 islands, is situated in the Pacific Ocean close to mainland Asia. Of them, 2,000 are inhabited. Although many of this country's islands are small and unidentified, they all contribute to its incredibly extensive shoreline. This nation's coastline is quite uneven with lots of bays and gulfs. The Philippines' coastal regions, like those of many other nations with extensive coastlines, are where people live in the greatest density. The majority of the main cities and about 60% of the population of the nation are situated along the shore. The Philippine coastline draws a large number of visitors each year because of its world-class diving and stunning beaches. Fishing and tourism both make significant economic contributions to the nation. Number 5. Russia, 37 kilometers. Russia's coastline might not be the first thing that springs to mind when considering the nation, but a quick glance at a map can make you reconsider. The largest nation in the world, Russia, shares a substantial portion of its boundaries with oceans. The Pacific Ocean borders Russia to the east, the Atlantic Ocean to the west, and the Arctic Ocean to the north. In addition, it has boundaries with the Baltic, Black, Caspian, and Azov seas. While Moscow is the capital and largest city of Russia, other significant coastal cities include Vladivostok and St. Petersburg. The most populous city on the Baltic Sea and the center of Russian culture is St. Petersburg. Vladivostok, a city with a history of being a very significant port and naval station, is a city that is located more than 6,000 kilometers distant on the other end of the country. Number 4. Greenland, 44 kilometers. Although nominally part of the Kingdom of Denmark, Greenland is a sovereign state. Additionally, it has a lengthy 44 kilometers coastline, which is noteworthy. This country of ice is situated between the Arctic and the Atlantic Ocean, and Canada and Iceland are its nearest neighbors. Despite its misleading name, ice covers nearly 80% of Greenland's land area. Only the coastal regions are populated because the rest of the country is largely covered with ice. The world's largest national park is situated in the northeastern region of the country, and these coastal regions are also home to a huge variety of plants and animals. Greenland's coastline is home to several fjords, glaciers, icebergs, and cliffs, all of which are astounding. The country's geographic beauty is enhanced by its relative remoteness and harsh weather. Number 3. Indonesia, 54 kilometers. The largest archipelagic state in the world is located in a country that may not even rank among the top 10 in terms of land area. Amazingly, Indonesia has 17 islands, with about 6,000 of these being inhabited. The 54 kilometers of coastline in Indonesia is largely made up of various islands, many of which have their own distinct languages and cultures. As a result, Indonesia comes in third place among the nations with the world's longest coastlines. The beaches of Bali, which are renowned for their surf and laid-back vibe, are only one of the several coastal regions of this nation of many islands that are popular tourist destinations. There are 147 volcanoes in Indonesia, 76 of which are active. One of the reasons Indonesia has such a unique terrain and coastline is the interaction of volcanic activity and tidal forces. Number 2. Norway, 83 kilometers. Norway is located on the Scandinavian peninsula in the northwest of Europe. The Barents Sea to the north and the North Atlantic Ocean to the west both encircle the nation. The Norwegian coastline is notable for being highly erratic. There are numerous rough indentations created by fjords and islands, and there is an archipelago called Svalbard that is situated far to the north in the Arctic Ocean. A sizable section of the Norwegian population also resides along the seaside. In addition to its storied Viking past, Norway is also recognized for its gorgeous fjords, salmon, and as a prime location to view the northern lights. It is frequently referred to as the land of the midnight sun because of the lengthy summertime daylight hours. Number 1. Canada, 202 kilometers. There is no contest for the title of nation with the world's longest coastline. Despite having the second largest overall landmass in the globe, Canada has by far the longest coastline. The Pacific Ocean in the west, the Atlantic Ocean in the east, and the Arctic Ocean in the north are all accessible from Canada's 202 kilometers of coastline. It is understandable that the terrain along the beach varies greatly depending on location with such a lengthy coastline that borders numerous oceans. A large portion of Canada's landmass is uninhabited, making it one of the world's most pristine landscapes. A few of the large land creatures that live there include moose, grizzly bears, polar bears, and wood bison. Canada's coastline is a key part of its economy because it is home to significant ports for trade and offers access to some of the best fishing in the world. This finishes our today's video. If you enjoyed watching this video, then like, comment, and share this video. Also, don't forget to press the subscribe button before leaving. See you in the next video.